Mecole, you definitely did not leave Big Brother quietly last night. So, what was your strategy behind that call out at the door, and why the grouping of Cory, America, and Bowie?
It was important for me to throw a little shade and also leave the house in a bit of a disarray on my exit because I know that everyone's been saying that, Mimi doesn't talk much game with us. She holds her card so closely to her chest. We don't know where she stands. We have no idea what she's thinking. So, I decided to take a page out of everyone in the house's book and be just as messy and opinionated as they are. And hopefully I get to watch them scramble.
I mean, I definitely appreciated it. You just cause some chaos, even if it's not true.
Yep, that's right.
So who were, because we couldn't really see who you were pointing to when you said you and you. So who were you directing it at?
I was directing it at Jag, Blue, and Matt.
Okay.
I had a conversation with America in the comic room a few days prior to that, and we were just talking about me staying in the house and what our relationship would look like moving forward. And she was asking me who else I trusted outside of her and Cory, and I was like, well, I don't really trust anyone. I don't feel that comfortable with anyone else. And she started to say, well, Cory really trusts Bowie Jane. Bowie Jane looks to him as an advisor. She's really smart. You should really get to know her. So while she didn't necessarily pitch an alliance that I denied, had like I'd been telling everyone else, she did allude to the fact that they had some sort of relationship. So I just decided to put a little white lie in the air and
No,
see
no
who.
harm in that.
Yep, nothing wrong with that. It's Big Brother.
Yeah. Well, also, did you come up with this? Because earlier yesterday, you campaigned to Jag and Matt, and you basically told them that they came to you, Cory, America, and Bowie came to you with an alliance of Final Four, and you turned them down, and that didn't cause them to flip the vote back. So, did you decide to do this after that?
Yeah, once I wasn't aware that, Jag and Matt had been masterminding this big plan for my demise. I was certain that it was Cory in America. Certain. You could not have paid me to believe that it was anyone else. So I really did think that the lie was gonna land. And I'm sure they were sitting there looking at me like, you big dummy,
Like
you know.
it was me. I orchestrated
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Well, it was also ironic because this entire game, Cory has been really wanting to work with you, like genuinely wanted to work with you, but you rebuffed him every single time. So why did you always turn him down?
Well, Cory was someone who I seen to be untrustworthy. I knew that he was always in and around conversations. And anytime I'd had conversations with him, he was always poking and prodding and wanting to ask me, who I had been talking to and how my relationship was with them. And that just didn't sit well with me because I didn't do the same to him. So I would have, liked for him to respect my privacy and my boundaries. And after the big blow up that he had with Jared, who was supposed to be his number one person in the house, I was just like, listen, where I'm from, you don't go against your number one person. If anything, you have those type of conversations behind closed doors and not in a group setting. So once that happened, I was really like, oh no, I can't trust this kid. He's out for himself.
Hmm. But did you ever think about just keeping the option open or just even lying to him, like, I'm open to working with you, even if you didn't want to?
Yeah, so I always thought that I kept the option open. And honestly, I always thought that he felt quite comfortable with me. I didn't really get into a whole bunch of the strategy with Cory because his thought process just seemed very overwhelming to me. He was always trying to account for every single possibility and really trying to think through every scenario. And for my purview, I like to play the game week by week. I can only respond to what's in front of me. I can't really be responsible for what's going to happen 3, 4 weeks down the line. That thought process just doesn't work for me. So it always just felt a little disorganized and overwhelming for me. But I did try to keep those lines of communications open with Cory, and we always would have, our 5, 10 minute chats. And even when I was having a conversation with Blue, she was calling out the fact that, she felt like Cory really trusted me. We were always off somewhere chatting. And when the big blow up happened, he pulled me in America and said that he wanted to chat with us. So, I think that people saw that we had some sort of relationship, probably just didn't understand the extent of it.
hmm Well, you were, riding hard with Brown Sugar Babes, and
Yeah.
Jared did tell Cory about it back in like week two, so that was true. But after that was exposed, what was your strategy? Because you didn't really, try to form new alliances with other people, like expand beyond Felicia.
Once the Brown Sugar Babes disbanded, if you will, my trust was forever altered. I had told them on multiple occasions, you guys are the only people I trust, the only people that I am working with. And once I realized that they weren't holding as true to Brown Sugar Babes as I was just like, oh, I can't trust anybody in this house. You had Jack, Blue, and Matt as a trio, Cory and America as a duo, Bowie, Jane, and Cameron also as a duo. Sari and Felicia to me also felt like a duo once I realized how much masterminding that they've done around all of these alliances. So there was really no one in the house who I truly ever felt that close to and that trustworthy of, unfortunately.
hmm Well, you had a hilarious reaction to the Jared and Sari news. So how do you look back on everything now that you know that they're mother and son?
Looking back on their relationship in the house, it all makes so much sense now. Anytime Jared won HOH, he'd be up in the room with Blue, and Sari would go up there and stay there for hours. When he was fighting for his life in the battle back, she was coaching him through the zombie rumble. After the zombie rumble, he was in the room crying and teary eyed, and she was consoling him. And ever since he's left the house, in just about every conversation I've had with her, she's mentioned something about me or Mama Fee being a part of his eviction. She could not let it go. And I really
She
did not.
held that grudge.
She held that grudge. And, very interesting. I wish that I'd known.
hmm well, lastly, what would you have done if you had won HOH?
If I won HOH this week, I definitely would have put Jag and Matt on the block. I definitely see them as two of the biggest threats in the house. I would have tried to align myself with Cameron at that time and, use him as a shield because I know that he'd always be a threat. And then just try to, figure it out from there.
Yeah. So not Cory.
Not, unfortunately, not Cory in America.
Nice. Well, Mecole, it was great watching you. So much fun. Sorry to see you go. And thanks for your time. It was great speaking with you.
Thank you so